Hello everybody, this is Steve Locse. Welcome to my channel Physics of Creation. Today I'm here with Farah Yurdözü from Turkey. Welcome Farah, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you? Good evening and buenas noches at the same time, of course, as you are in Spain right now.
That's correct. Well, I want to present you Farah, who I met. I had the opportunity and the great honor to meet you in Poland in the conference of Exposing the Truth.
Yeah, last month in October.
I can hear you just perfect. You don't have to
Can you? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's working nicely. All right, so when we met, actually, you exposed something very interesting, which actually could also confirm my own theory and my own researches in this theme. So let's first of all, I want to present you Farah as she is a Spanish teacher, actually. It's very interesting that you are a Spanish teacher. Well, we decided to speak in English because it's easier for you and
to make it global.
Yeah, make it global.
Yeah.
And Farah is also a writer and researcher in the field of UFOs and metaphysical research, and also in the field of unofficial human history, of course. Well, in today's session, we will talk about, I will ask you to expand a little bit more about your research and your discovery in your connection, let's say, the Turkish people, Turkish nation history connecting to Mu, and also your connection with the Syrians. Well, Farah, please.
So, okay, it was a wonderful surprise to meet you in Poland, in Warsaw. First of all, it was wonderful being in Warsaw. I loved the country, I loved the city. And as I said in the conference, I always wanted to visit Warsaw. Mm-hmm. And again, we have to mention Madeleine Namro here because
of course
we were there thanks to her, because of her organization, because of her wonderful conference, Exposing the Truth.
Of course.
So there was a nice coincidence in the conference, although I don't believe in coincidences, because of course I was there during your lecture. Mm-hmm. So where you finished your lecture, I started my lecture, and it was the continuing part, the second, as if it was the second part of your lecture, because it was connected.
Yeah.
Where you stopped and where I started, there was a big connection. So, yes, basically, I have been doing research, writing, lecturing, investigations about the cosmic sources, cosmic origins of the human race globally, all over the world. But especially as I'm a Turkish citizen and I'm Turkish, I found out, I discovered that especially Turkish nation has a very deep cosmic connection, especially with Sirius star system. And the origin, geographical origin of Turkish race is Central Asia. Mm-hmm. We came to today's Turkey, which is called Asia Minor, much later. Our real origin is Central Asia. Mm-hmm. And for a very long time, Turkish nation was shamanic. Mm-hmm. We were following the shamanic path religiously, and for a while we were Buddhists. Mm-hmm. And this makes us completely connected with the cosmic forces, completely connected with the cosmos. Since very ancient times, based on our mythological belief system, based on our shamanic belief system, we, Turkish nation, we knew that our origin is Sirius star system. And Sirius star system was considered as our spiritual sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have the real sun in our solar system, but it is the physical sun. Our spiritual sun is considered Sirius star system, which means that Turkish nation is under the protection of the Sirius system, metaphysically and spiritually. And most of the Earth civilizations actually are under the control of Sirius mission.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard about Helena Petrovska-Blavatsky, Madame
Yes,
Blavatsky.
of course.
Yeah, of course. So she was following or investigating the same routes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because based on her investigation, a higher group of beings, etheric beings, came from Sirius, were very strong on Earth planet. Mm-hmm. And they were the protectors, they were the spiritual leaders of the Earth nation. But we knew this as Central Asian Turkish tribes thousands of years ago. And Turkish nation was a tribal nation. We were tribes and we were traveling a lot. That's why we ended up in Asia Minor, today's Turkey. But meanwhile, we considered Sirius star system as our spiritual leader, as our spiritual protection. Mm-hmm. And everything was based on this information. Everything was based on the cosmic rules. And also the first founders of the ancient Turkish tribes, when we research the mythology about them, we find lots of cosmic connections, such as very early alien abductions, mm-hmm. such as very early UFO sightings, such as very early UFO landings.
Yeah.
These were the first creation narrations, traditional narrations of Turkish nation. So Sirius star system is very familiar for us. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Sirius star system or Sirius star is always symbolized with the 5-pointed star.
Yes.
So today on Turkish flag, we have the 5-pointed star and the crescent. Yeah. So these are very cosmic connections. These are coming from our very cosmic roots. Mm-hmm. As I said, actually the whole planet is under the coverage of the Sirius star system spiritually. That's why wherever you look, you can see the 5-pointed star, which is Sirius. So it is used in many ways. Also, it is used in pagan belief system and practices. And one more thing, not only Turkish flag, when you look at many flags all over the world, many nations' flags, there is 5-pointed star. Yeah. There is 5-pointed star in United States flag, obviously, in China, in many Middle Eastern countries, in South America, in Central American countries, Cuba, Puerto Rico. There are many, many. So these are still symbols of the Sirius star system.
Yeah. And how far can we go back in time to say from the beginning of the Turkish nation, or Turkish tribes, when they started to distinguish themselves from other tribes?
Okay, so again we have to mention about the 5-pointed star or the star symbolism. here is a question. Where do we see the first cosmic star symbolism as a depiction? Of course, we have to go back to Mu, lost continent Mu.
Of course.
Lost continent Lemuria. Lemuria Mu is the same thing. So the very early depictions of the star is already existed in the civilization of the lost continent Mu. As you know, in the first books about Mu civilization of the continent of Mu was published in 1930s by the English historian James Churchward. So he did his own research about Mu, and in those years, in late 1930s, he published 3 books about Mu, Lemuria. And during the same time, the founder of the modern Turkish Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, our first president, actually the father of our nation, father of the modern Turkish Republic. As you know, he was a very important military man, but also he was an international politician and world leader. His background was the military, but later he became our first president, the founder of our republic. He was also a writer. He was also a historian. So he was writing history books, and he was very much interested in the world history. Based on his own investigation, he read James Churchward books. And then he was very much interested in the Sirius connection, Mu connection, and the early Turkish, Central Asian Turkish tribes. So he knew that Turkish nation's origin is Mu, Lemuria, and the founders of the Mu civilization, Lemurian civilization, are coming from Sirius. So that's why on our flag we have the Sirius symbolism. As Atatürk was very much interested in the cosmic origin of Turkish nation, he decided to do a larger investigation. And most of the Lemurian Mu relics or archaeological proof was located in Mexico. So Mexican Mayan civilization was coming from Mu. That's why Mustafa Kemal Atatürk sent investigators to Mexico. He sent his ambassador to Mexico. And then that team started to do researches in Mexico. And this is what they found. The early Lemurian Mu civilization, when the continent destroyed and when it sinks, some of the survivors managed to come to Central Asia, and they became the Turkish tribes. This is how it started.
But that
some of the
during many millennia, I mean.
Oh yes, of course, yes. It is a completely untold, unwritten history. Untold and unwritten, forgotten history. But still, the proof is in the archaeological relics, archaeological sites. So this is how they found it.
Can we say...
Oh, by the way...
Excuse me.
Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And one of the very interesting things, again, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk was very much interested in the origin of the Turkish language. So while he was doing his research, he found out that most of the ancient Turkish words were similar to the ancient Mayan language, which comes from Mu. So almost the same words. And you proved the same thing in your own lecture too. Warsaw.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask. Is it possible that, for example, the ancient scriptures, what could be found all over the world, in the runic symbols, written in runic symbols, I'm talking about golden tablets and also the emerald tablets, which were found in Turkey actually. All those are written in the same symbols, in the same runic symbols, which actually Hungarian people, for example, the Skita people were using the same, Turkish were using the same, Phoenician people were using the same symbols. That means, that could mean that all those tribes were getting back in time, were the same tribe. But later they divided. Divided and took with themselves some particular maybe traditions, and the language later transformed. Let's say like that, or maybe we got. We could say that we got intervention from outside, maybe. To produce a difference, to produce a separation of the language.
Yeah, and another interesting thing, when you look at especially Mayan cultures and ancient Turkish culture had a lot of in common. Not only the language, also the symbolism.
Yes.
Still today, when you look at the ancient Turkish symbols, it is the same thing with the Mayan symbols. And still today, in Mexico, you can find many things similar to Turkish civilization. It is going parallel. And the language, yes, many words, Turkish words, were similar in the ancient Lemurian language. But today, you know what is interesting? For some reason, Turkish people are learning Spanish very easily.
But you know what? Yeah. Remember when we talk, you and I, in Poland, and we found many similarities between Hungarian words and Turkish words. Remember?
Also. Yes.
So imagine that back, let's say 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago, or maybe more, 10,000 years ago. So we could say that you and I, actually, we are brothers. We are from the same tribes, actually. But later, during the millennia, we separated.
We were separated. Yeah. We were separated, yes. And after the Mu civilization finished, some of the survivors managed to come to North America, and the Hopi nation started. And some of them, came to Central America, some of them came to South America, and then another group came to Central Asia. And this is how Turkish nation started. And I really believe in DNA memory, cell memory. So thousands of years are passing, peoples are going to other places, borders are drawn, and many things are changing, but DNA memory always stays same. You cannot change it, you cannot erase it.
Exactly.
So it stays, it keeps in our cell memory, one way or another.
Did you find any connection to Sumer?
Sumerian?
Yeah.
Yes, obviously. So again, there is a very big similarity with the ancient Turkish languages and the Sumerian language. So based on, this is not my research, by the way, based on some other historians' research, these are official historians, the original Turkish race has a lot with the Sumerian race. But this is not a surprising thing. This is very logical, because everything starts in Sumer. The human race started in Sumer, actually. So when you go back, there was nothing, but suddenly Sumerian civilization started, which is very logical. And also, again, if we are talking about the extraterrestrial visitations or extraterrestrial groups, again, what we call Anunnaki, which means the people who came from the sky and inside of the earth, they were the first visitors, or they were the first hosts of the Sumerian civilization.
Yeah. There is a very interesting point going back to Mu, because as you know, the history told by Stuart Swerdlow, and if we search Arvisuras, those golden tablets I talked about, there are many important points which lead to Lyrian people. I mean, Lyrian, let's say, colonists who arrived on to Earth, and actually they settle on Mu. Is that possible that those people who came to Mu, who originally came from Lyrae, but going through different stations, let's say like that, is that possible that those people got influence or influences in culture and language from the Syrians, and actually the Syrians transmitted the language and culture and traditions to the first colonists on Mu? Can you, I don't know if
okay, this seems very logical to me, because not only Sumer, not only South America, also ancient Egypt was another colony, originated from Mu, and they are coming from the same source, but in time they are adapting themselves into the geographical conditions or the climate or the natural conditions of the place that they immigrate. Because when you look at the many other cultures of the world, you can see the similarities in the north, in the south, in the east, and in the west. They still keep in their core existence the original information, the original cosmic knowledge. But in time, of course, they have to adapt themselves to the new land. So they are mixing, they are traveling, they are carrying the knowledge, or they are creating new traditions, which is very normal. And who knows, imagine, I mean, maybe in the next 150 years, maybe in the next 200 years, maybe Earth nation is going to have colonies in some other planets, but we are still going to consider ourselves human.
Of course.
Earth people. We are going to adapt ourselves in the new conditions of a new planet, but we are going to carry our history, our knowledge, our everything.
Yes.
I mean, imagine, I lived in United States for 10 years. And I worked there as a Spanish teacher and also as a Turkish teacher. Yes, but I was still a Turkish woman.
Yeah.
And I was still buying Turkish food from the Turkish grocery store. So you cannot change this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yes, you can live in New York City. You can do everything possible. But still, you need your own Turkish food.
Yeah.
Imagine, it's something like that.
Yeah. Of course. of course.
So you, for instance, how long have you been living in Spain?
Well, now 16 years.
16 years, but I mean, do you consider yourself Spanish?
Well, actually, after my transformation came, you know, something changed inside myself, you know, inside me.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself a human, for instance.
Yeah, of course, obviously, first of all.
But of course, I do not deny that I have Hungarian. I am a Hungarian descendant, for example, and I am legally here in Spain, but I am not a citizen, actually. So,
yeah.
If we are talking about the blood, you know, so I consider myself a Hungarian, but I don't care really where do I live, actually. So I can live anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So who knows, the first colonists from Sirius, when they came to this planet, what did they find? What were they looking for? And why they came? These things we still don't know. I mean, was it an accident, or were they looking for something? As Zechariah Sitchin says, they were looking for gold.
Oh,
maybe that's correct.
Yeah, but that is connected to the Anunnaki, actually.
Yeah, that is connected to Anunnaki. And Anunnaki is a part of, actually, our society, our
today
history.
Yeah. All right, and to go finishing, the last part I wanted to ask you about Cappadocia, and what did you find in connection with them, with Cappadocia and extraterrestrials, maybe, or ancient history?
Okay, Cappadocia is a region located in the central part of Turkey. So, a little reminder, I live in Istanbul. Istanbul is the biggest and the most crowded city of Turkey. And the population is almost 20 million. 20 million. This is a small European country. 20 million, but our capital city is Ankara. So Cappadocia is close to Ankara. It is in the central part of Turkey. On the surface, in Cappadocia region, we have the natural formations, which we call fairy chimneys.
You will have to write it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the pictures.
All right.
So fairy chimneys are natural rock formations.
All right.
They look like a kind of tower, natural rock tower, and they were carved by the wind, by the snow, by the rain, but in the millions of years. And also the geographical structure of Cappadocia is very interesting. It looks like another planet because there are lots of rock formations and caves. This is what you see on the ground, on the surface. But the underground world of Cappadocia is completely different because they were discovered in 1960s, multiple underground cities, and actually the total number of the underground cities all over Turkey is around 100. Not only Cappadocia region, but the Cappadocia underground cities are the world famous ones and the touristic ones. Every year, millions of tourists are coming and visiting. So,
how many levels can we visit as tourists?
We can visit 6 levels, but originally there are 26 levels as far as we know. Maybe there is more. They are huge areas. They are connected connects to each other. They are linked to each other. And let's say all the levels are linked to each other with galleries as steps. And some of them are very large rooms, some of them are very dark, narrow passages. In some places, the ceiling is very high, and some places the ceiling is very low. But official historians, conventional historians say that the Cappadocian underground cities were made 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago. But actually, with the discovery of the Göbekli Tepe temple in the far east part of Turkey, we found out that the history, Turkish history, goes back to 12,000 years ago.
Of course.
So, 12,000 years ago, maybe 15,000 years ago. Nobody knows who built the Cappadocian underground cities. We don't know. And on Turkish land, the first settlements happened with the Hittite civilization. So when the Hittites came, they found the underground cities of Cappadocia.
Already done.
They didn't build them.
Yeah.
They were already done, but they used them. Hittites used them. So they were already done. So as you know, a very important part of my research is the reptilian race.
Mm-hmm.
Reptilian race. And all over the world, there is a belief system that the reptilians live and reside in the underground cave systems, not only in Turkey, in many other countries.
We know one in
Turkey,
Egypt, right?
Yeah. Also, actually, we see the same thing in Brazil also.
Of course.
In Brazil and in some parts of Northern America.
And today we know also in Peru and Ecuador.
Oh, yes, Ecuador and in Malta. Actually, Malta is a very important place with the Malta Island underground cities.
As we know, in Malta we can find also the very important nucleus of the Knight Templars.
Yeah, obviously, much later, but of course they were following the same path, they were carrying the same knowledge. Mm-hmm. So talking about the underground cities of Turkey, we believe that a half human, half reptilian race lived in underground cities of Cappadocia. And today, in that area, people respect the reptiles, snakes. But at the same time, they are scared of them, but they don't harm them. For instance, in Turkey, especially in that area, nobody wants to harm, nobody wants to kill them. Because the snake, just like in many other nations, is considered a wise animal. Actually, the real king of the animal world is the snake. It's not the lion. Mm-hmm. Because some people think that the lion is the leader, lion is the king of the animals. No, actually it is the snake. So the snake symbolizes the wisdom. And Turkey is a very old country. It's a very old geographical land. And many different civilizations was born and existed and died on Turkish land. Mm. So when you look at them, almost all of them respected the wisdom of the snake. So for a while, for a long time, we were a part of the Roman Empire. Yeah. And the ancient city of Ephesus was the capital city of Roman Empire on Turkey, on Asia Minor. And ancient Roman cities, Ephesus, Pergamon, the snake symbolism was very prominent there, especially in Bergama.
All right.
So, yeah. And today, I think underground cities of Cappadocia, in time, they were active interdimensional stargates, active interdimensional portals. Probably they are not active anymore.
I don't know.
I had a very...
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah. I had a very strange experience in when I was visiting underground city of Cappadocia. So I was visiting with a tourist group because you are not allowed to go there by yourself. It may be very dangerous. I was with two other ladies. So suddenly we were separated from the tourist group and the tourist guide. We found ourselves in a small cave room. And there's only one entrance and one exit. So the exit and the entrance was gone.
Wow.
So it was just solid walls, cave walls, and we were trapped in a small room, small cave room. So we entered from somewhere, and the rest of the group exit. They left the room from the exit, but suddenly for 2-3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, the exit and the entrance were erased. And I said, okay, this is the last day of my life. I'm going to die. This is happening 20 years ago.
Wow.
I'm going to die here because nobody can find you if you die there. And when I was ready to die, the exits opened again.
Wow.
So I lived this with two other ladies.
Yeah. As you mentioned that in Turkey, and especially in Cappadocia, there might have been some half human and half reptilian race, let's say like that.
Yeah.
Actually, that can confirm the theory, maybe it's not a theory, but let's call it this way, of French writer Anton Parks. I don't know if you heard about him.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he say that actually the first Anunnaki who came to Earth, they settled actually in Turkey, in the Taurus Mountains.
Okay, that's a very interesting interpretation of the word history. What we say alternative history, untold history. So, to me, the first Anunnaki was located in Iraq, today's Iraq.
Yeah, this is the official version, let's say, Zecharia Sitchin version.
Yeah, but again, there were so many groups who left their origin and they traveled through Turkey. And Taurus Mountains, actually, it is the same location, the Cappadocia region. He's right. It was the cradle of many civilizations.
So, this confirms
of course. This confirms, yes, very much confirms, of course. Because, again, Hittites, for instance, came from the northern part of the country, but the origin is unknown. They came from the north, but what is north? It can be anything, right? Yeah. So, I'm not surprised. Also, the name of the fairy chimneys.
Yeah.
Fairy, just like fairy tale. Again, they believed that fairies lived in the area. That's why it was called fairy chimneys, fairies.
Yeah.
And what the ancient people called fairy, today we call them alien. Today we call them extraterrestrial.
Yes.
And as we consider the extraterrestrial beings, alien beings, physically lighter, maybe they didn't have a physical body as we have. Maybe they were transparent beings.
Depending on the race, right? Maybe?
Yeah, depending on the race. Maybe they were able to fly with their devices. I'm not talking about the wings. I'm not talking about the fairy wings. But maybe they had the technology of flying, which is not a surprising thing. That's why they were called fairies.
So you can, or we could consider that in the Sumerian tablets where we can find depictions of some kind of a disc with wings. Actually, that can be a spacecraft or something, an aircraft maybe, or the wings only symbolizing the capacity of flying.
It may be both. Actually, it may be both. We see the same symbol in many civilizations, but the origin is Mesopotamia. The ancient origin is Anunnaki. It starts with a circular shape, right? Just a circle. And to me, it is the Stargate. This is how I interpret.
All right.
Because to me, according to my research, according to my logic, they are still coming from the interdimensional portals, which we call Stargate.
Could that be the sun itself?
Possible.
Physically, yes.
I'm saying, I'm telling you my opinion, but I may be wrong. I just want to share what I believe, what I think, but maybe I'm totally wrong. And if I'm totally wrong, it's okay, no problem. Of course. Because you know what? We are doing this research as a kind of blindfolded. We are in the dark. We are trying to find out the truth about our origin, about the Earth. But again, maybe we are making a mistake. Anyway, so I just want to share what I think. And another thing, in the ancient Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrian archaeological sculptures or the reliefs, there is, the Anunnaki people, gods, or the half-human, half-bird-hat creatures, they are wearing a device on their wrist. And So in the past, Eric von Däniken, another pioneer researcher and the writer of the multiple books on these topics, he said that they were using a technological device. Maybe it was a communication device, maybe it was showing the time, maybe it was showing the conditions of the planets or whatever. So yes, you can think about that. They were using a technological device. But to me, that is the symbol of the Anunnaki god, Anu. Anu. Because based on the Sumerian mythology, the most important god, the leader of the god, was Anu. And actually, from that, we get the word of Anios, Anio. Anu, Anio, annual in English, annual. And in Spanish, año. Anu, it comes from there. Because
the years.
Anu, years, time. Years,
of course. Cycle.
Cycle. We are talking about the cosmic cycles, of course. So Anu was the leader of all the gods and the kings, and he was directly connected with the cosmic circles of the earth. That's why annual, anios, annual words are coming from Anu. And Anunnaki means that the people of Anu. So that device, it is not a technological device. It is the symbol of Anu.
All right.
You can find it. Actually, basically, it looks like a flower. It looks like a daisy. It looks like a decorative object. And we see the same decorative flower kind of object in Hittite society, later in Urartu society, and in many other different societies. Even in Japan, I showed this, remember, in the conference? Because it is the symbol of the Japanese royal family. It is in the temple.
Even in Vatican.
Oh yes, obviously. yeah, obviously. So I think it is 8-petal flower.
Yeah.
It is a cosmic symbol, but it symbolizes the interdimensional gates, interdimensional stargates. Those
Which could
stargates,
be, excuse me for interrupting,
no problem.
from my understanding, could be the symbol of the sun also,
It may be.
because
It may be.
because it could be also a symbol of Stargate.
Yeah,
Simply.
yeah, yeah.
Star as a sun. The sun is a star, and so the
Yeah.
star itself could be a Stargate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As we already saw it coming, a very good explanation coming from Nassim Haramein
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
this topic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Very well.
much later, of course, do you remember the very first Stargate movie?
Yeah, I saw that.
Before the television series.
Yeah.
So, of course, if it is coming from Hollywood, it is not only entertainment. It is also
Never.
yes, mind conditioning.
Yeah.
A kind of. It is not only entertainment.
Programming.
Yeah, programming. So when they made the first Stargate movie, the Stargate concept entered in our lives.
Mhm.
Before that movie, people didn't know about the concept of Stargate. Maybe we were talking about interdimensional portals, but
Maybe.
it wasn't so prominent. It wasn't so clear.
Mhm.
So after that, they produced a group of series about Stargate, and there is another one, Babylonian. What is that?
Babylon.
Stargate? Yeah, Babylon. So all these things are really very well programmed and planned. It is not a coincidence. It is not just for fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Science fiction actually, it is not talking about only the future. It is not only talking about the future. Science fiction is the reflection of the Earth history, human
Yeah.
history. It is
I
talking
agree.
about the past. It is talking about the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah, to me, I mean, again, talking about Anunnaki, that circular thing, it is not the wrist, it is not the technological device, it is the interdimensional portal to me, according to me.
All right. Well, Farah, we are getting really far in this. I believe that we could talk about many other things.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure.
and maybe we could do some other sessions if you agree. We will
Yeah, of course.
we will choose a topic, and
As long as people are not bored, I'm here
course.
to talk about anything. So it is my pleasure whenever you want.
All right. Well, thank you very much. This is an honor to be to receive you in my channel, and really I appreciate your job, your background, also all your research, because this is very important for the humanity, and I think that we will getting more pieces of the puzzle, I think.
Yes, yeah. Okay, and I was in a television show in Turkey last week.
Oh,
Yeah. And it is on YouTube, but of course it is in Turkish language because it is for Turkish television. So there is something that I repeat in my television shows or in my lectures. If I am saying the same things, if I'm writing the same things I wrote 25 years ago, please don't listen to me. Don't read anything that I write, because I have to progress.
Yeah.
I need an evolution inside of myself, inside of my brain.
Of course.
25 years ago, when I started, everything was very primitive.
Yeah.
25 years ago, I didn't have a computer at home. Actually, 25 years ago, when I was a student at Istanbul University, in the university there wasn't computers. Can you imagine? Everything was typewriting.
Yeah.
In the old kind of typing machines. So in 25 years, we are living in a world of science fiction. So when I first started to think about, write about UFOs, I would never ever imagine a communication like this. I mean, you are in Spain, I am in Istanbul, and we are sharing the same space. We can see each other. And this was on the very first Star Trek television series.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was so good quality, yes.
Yeah.
So generally, people are expecting a UFO disclosure.
Yeah.
If you ever have a chance, I would like to talk about this topic in our next interview, next conversation, because this is something very uncomfortable situation. Important, but at the same time is a problem. Because in the United States, as if we consider United States is the birthplace of the ufology, official ufology, after 1947, the Roswell UFO crash.
Yeah.
So, and we have to accept this. Most of the UFO conferences or UFO community, UFO researchers are located in the United States, more than Europe, more than the other parts of the world. But here is the thing. There is a group of UFO believers. And in UFO topic, I really don't want to use the term of believing. I want to know the truth about the UFOs. I don't want to believe in anything. It is not an issue of belief. It is an issue of to know. We have to know. And the believers, the radical believers of UFOs, they're expecting a UFO disclosure.
Yeah.
But who is going to disclose what? I don't know if they are expecting the American government is going to disclose the UFO files, or are they expecting the UFOs or the extraterrestrials themselves are going to disclose themselves?
Yeah.
So here is the question.
Or maybe some other nation to disclose it first. Maybe.
Earth nation or extraterrestrial
No, Earth nation. Maybe the Russians, I mean, to be the first.
Yeah, let's see. So next time let's talk about this topic.
All right. I would like to. Really. Okay,
and thank you very much for having me on your show. I appreciate this for your time, for your patience. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Really, the honor is mine. And I will get you back. I hope so.
Okay. Anytime.
Well,
anytime.
Everybody, thank you for listening, for watching, and we will see again each other very soon with new events, new information. Thank for everybody. A big hug to everyone. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Good night.
Take care. Bye.